Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the QuarKeys Z40. Yes, the fundamental particle quarks. So we have a 47 key ortholinear MIT keyboard. This keyboard is tiny, and that's one of the things that caught my attention. Just to give a little backstory and clarification, I first got into mechanical keyboards earlier this year, literally just a couple months ago. I'm actually still waiting on my first purchase, but I ended up getting a 60% keyboard off of Amazon, and since then I've been exploring layers. So I got into a group buy for another 40%. I'm actually waiting for the production to finish up. After that group buy, I was feeling good. Jumped into the 40s Discord, just looking around, and I actually stumbled across another group buy, but this one was ortho. And I mean, to me, that's just weird. I've never really seen anything like it until just recently because, like I said, I'm new to all this. And in the shot, the thing that caught my eye about this is it kind of looked like it should have had jewelry next to it in the shot. So I clicked the link and ended up finding out that they have a Discord themselves. Got in touch with the maker, who, by the way, is great. We have a great dialogue, and actually had a chance to really pick the mind of the creator of the Z40. And just to be upfront, I did receive this keyboard, but it was in exchange for me giving my feedback, making my own content that I came up with. I mean, I literally said I wasn't going to fanboy anything, so I wanted to really take a look at it and give a real honest review, but, just gonna be upfront, I thought it looked really cool and interesting, to say the least. So like I was saying earlier, I needed a keyboard for programming. I was looking into some stuff. I mean, it's after 2020, so there should be some really cool tech out there in the world. At least that's what I was thinking, I tried to get involved in the minivan group buy, but that was sold out in like 30 minutes. Coming from a 60% keyboard, I was kind of used to layers, and I've gamed before too, so I figured after time, muscle memory, that'll kick in. I'll know where the keys are, so as long as I make the mistakes and keep going, I'll get better. I was sent this prototype PCB. The difference between mine and the ones being sold in the group buy is that this board, the sockets on it were a little tight for the switches, so I just had to push in a little bit harder, and it was my first time. But if I could do it, you can do it. Another thing, the case reads Quark on the back, and later it's going to read QuarKeys. Before I start jumping around, let's start off with just how small this is. The board is 235.6 millimeters long, or just over 9¼ inches. It is 83.2 millimeters wide, or just over 3¼ inches. And with the brass foot, like mine, it is 26 millimeters tall, and keycaps included, by the way, and that's just over an inch at 1.02 inches. I did receive the blank keycaps, but that was only in order to get the board faster. You'll have legends on yours. The switches are TTC, the low profile version. They are linear red switches. I chose the low profile because I've never had them before, and I wanted to try something different. They aren't bad at all, but I am spoiled by my Glorious Pandas and the Roselios. I guess I kind of jumped into some better ones, and I know they're not like the other pandas and all that, but I haven't had a chance to get into that part yet. They are a little scratchy, but I ended up lubing mine. And after lubing, they are so much fun to type with. You'll see later on in the video, using my other board, they I'm kind of used to a little bit more quieter, marshmallowy type of type of a feeling and sound, but this one on the Z40, I love the snappiness. I love the responsive feel. The sound, it sounds great to me. Like, I actually enjoy using it all the time as much as possible. I don't even use my other board anymore. And really, at the end of the day, we're doing mundane tasks with this tool. So the funner, the more fun you have doing it, the better. And besides, I do get a little bit weird when it comes to sound. Like, I don't like really loud sounds. Like, I don't like causing attention, but this thing has a really nice thwack. Like, listen to this. So, you know, I just enjoy it. Anyways, moving down the order of operations, looking at this thing, the pour-on pads, that's actually pretty cool technology from what I saw. I was looking up some YouTube factory walkthrough videos and just kind of looking into the product. Never heard about it before. Actually, there's some gorgeous RGB on this and a ton of color options. The thing I did notice, like I was saying before, these lights are bright. So on the back of this, it was reading about 92 degrees. And on the front, it was 87 degrees. Right now, I've been using it for about an hour and a half, 2 hours straight, lights going, everything. And it's reading, on the front, it's reading 89 degrees right now. So soldering the switches into the PCB was my first time ever soldering. If I can do it, you can do it. I did watch a few videos, like ones from Black Simone or Black Simon. I actually haven't heard him pronounce it, so sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Pressing the switches into the board was nerve-wracking because I kept feeling like I was gonna snap the board. Like, I mean, I was pretty nervous too. I didn't know if I was gonna pop something small off, something important, or just completely brick my first board. I mean, essentially, this was a gift, and I mean, literally, I was sweating during some of these phases. By the way, I didn't have the correct stabilizers. I had some cherry plate mount and PCB mounted. But if you have regular size switches, you won't need the stabilizers. But if you get the low profile ones in there, like me, you'll more than likely need them. I mean, I can definitely tell, so I'm going to throw them in as soon as I get them. This board is connected by a USB-C cable, and like a lot of build kits, this one didn't come with a cable, which is fine by me. Underneath the PCB is another pour-on pad, a little bit smaller than the first one. The first one is 3.5 millimeters, and this one is 2. So moving to the case, this thing is light. It is CNC aluminum, and I mean, this thing is beautiful though. I have the brass foot bar, I have the brass foot on, and I mean, the case itself with everything on is really light, but I kind of like things a little bit heavier, and I don't know, it kind of feels a little bit more luxury, I guess. Like a heavy watch versus a plasticky, feely watch. I don't know. But yeah, I like the weight on it, so I have that brass foot on. Plus, it just ups the elegance factor on the board anyways. I can see a lot of professionals using this, especially in some of these nicer, more modern offices where a lot of things are more for show, and it's more about, not for show, but it's more on display, I guess. And so I could see this being on a lot of desktops. Doesn't take up much room at all. Actually, I had a little scale and I put it on, and it's about 468 grams. Now, it sounds like it's light, but with that brass foot on, it makes it feel a little bit heavier, and I have the rubber feet on too. Even though it is light, this thing doesn't slide around. Like I've tried too, but I have the rubber feet on underneath, which I think just completes the look. It just carries over that white onto the brass, and I don't know, I like it. But anyways, the rubber feet, work like a charm. I still pick it up because I don't want to scuff them, I guess. But I've tried them all over the place, on wooden benches, on stairs, on concrete, taking them to a restaurant, put them on the epoxy bar top. You know, I've tried all kinds of different places. I love carrying this thing around in my pocket and pulling it out. I won't go too much into it, but with the layers on my first base layer, it's got all the alpha keys, the escape, the tilde key. I have the tab, left shift, left control, Windows, Alt modifiers. On the other side, I have the right shift, enter, and on the bottom row, that's how I get to my layers 1, 2, and 3. That's also how I access my macros for like task manager, task view, and minimize all. So on my first layer, I set it up around math operations and settings. And I have the media controls, the navigation plus directional keys. I have my RGB control, a delete key, the number pad, and math operators. On the second layer is the number row. And I have the number row right on the home row. There's also the delete key, and I have the grammar and punctuation marks on this layer as well. And on the last layer, that's basically where I have just the function row. I have the shift, control, Windows, and Alt keys. That way, I can do the different combinations in the different programs that I use. I also have a directional pad for my right hand on this layer as well. Oh yeah, and I can also pull up my PC, a calculator, or even take a screenshot from this layer. I do use this for work, just so you know. I've seen a lot of videos, and I know a lot of them talk about they can't use it for work or this or that. Gaming, I don't know about. I actually haven't had the time to. I want to, but just haven't had the chance yet. But like I said, I've used it with Excel, did some inventory management. I did learn why I want some keys somewhere, and like I said, that's where you just get into the layer programming. I also use it for making renders within Blender. I had no issues there. I reworked the zoom focus under the 3D view to be shift period instead of number pad period. But I mean, I had to do that with my 60% keyboard because, Hey, if you like this review so far, give it a like, subscribe for more content. We will be doing more reviews on boards as we go, but really, first and foremost, we are an artisan keycap maker company. And after this review, we will be putting out content more about actual keycaps themselves and the artistry around keyboards. If I get some cool builds, maybe I can make some more content around those keyboards, but we'll see how it goes. And I do want to mention the group buy for this keyboard, the Z40. It is live right now, and it's going to end soon, so jump on it. It ends the 15th. Orders go out on the 16th, and from what I was told, it should take about 60 to 90 days for you to get your board. So back to the Z40. I think it's a keyboard that I can really make my own. I'm going to keep using this keyboard, so in 6 months I'll have a long-term look at this board and see how I've aged, how it's aged, see if I still like it, and I'll put out another video and we'll kind of do a more in-depth look at it from a long-term standpoint. And me being into programming, I've already delved into the QMK and the VIA, so just talking about that a little bit now. The layers that I have on it, that's where I really wanted to make this board my own. That's why I wanted to get into the 40s in the first place. So should you buy this board? Well, I mean, do you like nice things? Then yeah. Do you like typing on a board that has a nice sound and short keystroke? Yeah. Are you into DIY? Yeah, you'll have fun with this one. Do you want a cheap board? No. This one is going to run about $184. If you get the brass foot like me, it's a little bit extra. I know they have a few different options as well, but it's definitely not $50. You know, I mean, like, look at it. And there should be some cool things happening with this board. It's not like they just made it and it's going to be forgotten about. From what I was told, there's going to be some cool updates or additions to interact wirelessly. Like I've actually been bugging them, saying like, you know, I love this. I take it around in my pocket, pull it out. But I mean, if this was wireless, oh my goodness, that would be so cool. So, you know, I was already told about that because I keep bugging them and making sure. So, you know, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. You know, we'll see. If you like this board but you don't want to solder it yourself, if you live in the US, reach out to me. You know, maybe we can have it drop shipped to me and I'll solder it. You know, I'll do it for $50. And to lube the switches, I'll do that for another $50. That way, once I'm done, you let me know how you want me to ship it to you and I will get it out to you. I am trying to be more into the community of keyboards and would be happy to help. Not only do we make artisan keycaps, but I'm also trying to get more into custom keyboard building and even just doing the artwork on it. I actually used to do faux finishing, and on this keyboard I'm actually thinking of maybe putting some purple Venetian plaster where it says Quark, and then gold leafing where this little other small the small little writing down in the right corner where it says Rev 4 Z40. But I don't know yet. I'm gonna kind of see how the colors look and see what I can get a hold of. But really, the imagination is the limit. All right, so my final thoughts on this keyboard is that this ortho, it is odd, you know, it's just really cool, I think, but you know, it is odd, and it does take a little bit of time to get used to. I've been using this for about a week, and I still do have hesitation on where certain keys are. You know, like I'll hesitate, and I take forever, and I'm not fast. A fast typer to begin with, so I'm probably around 40-45 words per minute just on average as is, but I've also only been practicing for a few months now, so you know, in 6 months we'll see how it goes with this. I mean, who knows, I may be up to 90 words, I don't know. I do have hesitation with the keystrokes. I like C as example. I've had to learn that my middle finger goes just straight down, and there's other weird little tidbits, but I mean, using the number pad and other things is really fun. Like I said, using this in Excel, I have my $ and my numbers, and I have my you know, my decimal point, so I'm good to go, and I can knock these things out quick. The sound, you know, just like a lot of people who are probably watching this are enthusiasts maybe, but the sound on this is really nice. I actually have a lot of fun using this, and it sounds different on video than in person. I actually didn't really hear it from the perspective of how it sounds on video, but you know, maybe it's just me being too close to it, and I haven't heard it from an outside perspective. But yeah, it's really fun. The responsiveness is great. And I really like the little fact that it gives. If you want something that is elegant for work or home or on the airplane or in your Rolls Royce, then the Z40 is the group buy to get in on. I had mine sent from Hong Kong to Florida, and it made it in about 9 days, you know, and that it went through customs and all. If you made it this far into the video, thank you for sticking around. It's been a pleasure to review this keyboard, the Z40 from QuarKeys, or actually, how should I say that? QuarKeys? 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 I don't know yet. But maybe you, well, no, you can't leave that in the comments below. But you know what? I probably did leave some information out, so why don't you go ahead and drop that in the comments below. I try to give some different information in this one than in the other ones, but I probably missed something somewhere along the lines. Check out my other social medias, usually under Thockett or Thockett_official. I'm going to be finishing this video out with a lot of sound videos. I hope you enjoy.
Do you even talk, bro?
this far into the video, I don't know what the